Well, shows are always great because there's such great networking opportunities, chance to catch up with folks that you don't see all the time, and also to make some new acquaintances. So this show is quite excellent given the nature of the attendees and the diversity of the attendees. Well, these are, as you can imagine, are interesting times with the international retailers looking more closely given the change in legislation and regulation for those retailers. There's some early movers, people like Walmart, but I think many more retailers, particularly fashion retailers, are beginning to look at the country as possible locations or partnerships. So I think the next couple of years will be very exciting times for the industry and also for the consumer, who will be introduced to new brands and to new concepts. Well, I think maybe it works two ways. I think it's good for the Indian retailers because it makes them more competitive and raises their game. Brings new ideas. I also think it makes it very interesting for Indian retailers thinking outside of India. I think one of the interesting things is sometimes when a market is too closed, people don't see opportunities beyond their own home market, and I could see great opportunities for East Asia, other North Africa, South Africa, for Indian retailers to expand. So I think this will be good for two ways. Well, I think the smart international retailers understand that this market will be different. There's a service level. Customers here expect much more attention, much less self-service in terms of shopping. And so they really have to change their whole strategy around presentation, merchandising, fixturing, even distribution. So I think these elements will change quite a bit as retailers come into the market. I think there'll be some challenges because people often see India as a monolithic market. It's really 15 markets. There's rural and urban markets, and sometimes they're spoiled because they come from places like the U.S., where markets are so consistent that they don't really understand the need to really identify and connect with individual places. Well, I think design, because it's so integrated with branding and differentiation, it's one of the tools that the retailers can use. And I think as markets move from scarcity to abundance, design becomes a really key element in attracting their customer between retailers and also defining who their customer is. So, and I think you see this in the new shopping schemes and new shopping centers that are being built, is a much more interesting retail environment, much more interesting stores, and even the shopping centers themselves are quite more interesting and experiential. Two words, I guess I'm trying to think what would be the best two words, as competitive, demanding, because so many of the franchise concepts tend to group around service or group around food. And so it's a very competitive group, and it really needs smart, hardworking people to succeed.